John Leith founded and leads the Medicann Group, an Australian group of companies leading the way in delivering medicinal cannabis-based therapeutic solutions for patients in the Australian and global markets. As a type 2 diabetes survivor, it's John's mission to make products that relieve the symptoms of this disease, as well as breakthrough cannabis medicine that is affordable, accessible, and backed by clinical science. From his personal experience, John understands the positive impact natural medicine can have on those suffering debilitating disease. This experience with both hemp and cannabis led him to create Australia's leading medical cannabis healthcare company. The Medicann Group, or OMG, is a licensed Australian medicinal cannabis company and offers a unique proposition in the industry through an innovative business model which focuses on research, cultivation, and education. They've developed a holistic approach to medicinal cannabis with the motto of patients before profits. Welcome to Pure Health Hub, John. We're thrilled to have you join us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Good. Now, Oh My God is at the forefront of innovation in designing solutions to meet the needs of industry and patients and health-conscious consumers, who is, of course, our readership. Now, we're going to go into talk about a little bit of a program that we're going to partner on next year. But before we get there, can you tell me a little bit about why and how you got into developing medicinal cannabis products? What was the catalyst for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. There was two life-changing moments for me. One, my niece was diagnosed with epilepsy and was actually having to get, her father, who's my brother, was actually having to get CBD from the black market because in Scotland it was illegal as it was all over the world. He did that at the expense of his own career. He's a barrister lawyer. And if anything was to have happened to him, he would have lost his job and his reputation. So when I found that, I got a bit sort of belligerent and thought, are you telling me that there's a product on the market, whether it's the black market, grey market, or green market, that works for Stacey and it's illegal? And he was explaining to me the landscape of that. So I decided to do the research, the development, and look into what is medical cannabis, why is it illegal, and when will it not be illegal. So that resulted me setting up the Medicann Group. It took us 2 years to do the research and the development around our own particular medicine. And at that time, as I said, two life-changing moments. I came down with type 2 diabetes and had never heard of diabetes or type 2 diabetes. I mean, I'd heard about it, but it wasn't something that was ever going to be relevant to me. And given that we're a medical company and we have the medical team, I went about discovering how and what would actually be a good product solution for me to add to my diet that would help with my type 2 diabetes. And after a lot of research, it was, we created the Hemp Kombucha. We created that to give to people for free. So I created it for myself and I would give it to friends and family and anyone who happened to, talk about it and it came up in conversation. That led to it being flagged up to Medicine or Myth on the SBS program. They were so intrigued about it that they wanted to invest in clinical trials to see if it actually did what it did for me. Because as we all know, something can work for one person and not the other. So they wanted to check the evidence. They done that, and the results were phenomenal, and it passed a clinical trial for type 2 diabetes. So that was the reason, and that's the backstory as to why.
Wow, that's incredible, isn't it? So you continued. So how long has that kombucha been in the market now?
So we created kits to start with, and those kits we weren't selling anything, but as a result of SPC, we were inundated. So we had thousands and thousands of phone calls to get the recipe, of which we then put together in a kit that they could actually purchase. So that's been going since November 2017, when hemp became legal in consumable products in this country. That then moved to us producing Hemp Oz kombucha in bottles. And since then, it's just been gone gangbusters across the country. Now we have international interest.
Yeah, and it was SBS who actually put that under the clinical trial, right?
That's right. So they paid and invested in it because what they thought is, with type 2 diabetes being one of the most, the biggest chronic pain problems in this country, they figured that if this little drink could do that, then wouldn't it be great to share it with the world? So they invested in it, and they then helped to sort of spearhead the launch of what is now Hemp Oz kombucha.
And what was the result of that clinical trial?
So the results, I haven't got them to hand at this moment in time, but they assisted and helped in reducing high blood levels and improved overall digestion.
Yeah, and stabilize those.
Yeah, and I can provide you with the exact figures on what it actually. Sorry,
I totally put you on the spot there. I should have had that in there, but I thought, maybe you've got it off the top of your head.
No, that's all right. It's just that's something that Kerry can talk to off the top of her head.
Yeah.
And the results are fantastic. So it's a very good question. Yeah. And I will definitely follow up with you on what the actual results came back.
I totally put you on the spot. Now tell me, look, Hemp Oz is a subsidiary of OMG and produces safe, legal and functional food and beverage products. You create the most amazing hemp infused products. Your kombucha is divine, and as is your mineral water, your lemon and ginger mineral water, and the protein powder and much more. Now, you could have just focused, I think you probably answered this, but you could have just focused on the much bigger market of medicinal cannabis. And I think you really did answer, why did you develop these products specifically? Was it really about that initial research you did?
Look, it was by accident. I was never looking to be in the wellness. We're a medical company. That's what we're about. And we're about creating breakthrough medicines with cannabis. It wasn't until I came down with type 2 diabetes that was the catalyst of it. So yeah, it was by accident, a wonderful and beautiful accident, but definitely by accident. It was never in the plan to create a hemp and wellness division of the business.
Well, we're glad you did, because it's fabulous.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to our mutual survey coming up next year. Now, we at the Hub are super excited to partner with you to conduct an observational survey in Feb 2022. So we're going to be seeking expressions of interest from 50 women in that 40 plus age group who are pre-diabetic or diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. And for this observational survey, we'll require these women to consume a bottle of your kombucha each day under initial instructions from you, of course. And they will have a form to complete with information on their experience with the Hemp Oz kombucha product, including their regular blood glucose levels during the 12 days. Now, they will each receive a case of 12 bottles of kombucha and will remain in contact with Hemp Oz and Pure Health Hub over this period, and we'll publish the results in the March issue of Pure Health Hub. Now, I'm also going to be a part of this survey, so I'm looking forward to that.
So do you have you suffered from type 2 diabetes?
Yes, I was diagnosed. One of the reasons I started Pure Health Hub, I was diagnosed last year, a number of different conditions. I've really had quite a healthy existence until last year when COVID hit. I was also hit with a number of different diagnoses, including type 2.
Oh my. I mean, look at, until you don't realize the actual problem, right? Until it hits you. I remember actually the first time the actual doctor told me that I had type 2 diabetes and that I wasn't allowed to go and eat ice cream or chocolate the first thing I did was I ate chocolate and ice cream because I was frightened at the fact that someone was telling me I can't do something. So I didn't realize just how serious it was. And it definitely it changed everything in terms of my thinking.
Well, it does. And you know, I must admit, when I was diagnosed, I wasn't surprised. It's prevalent in my family. And I noticed that it's really impacted by stress and pain and various other things that I deal with. But when I was diagnosed, I also had no idea of the complexity of what was required.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily just the diet, although that was kind of almost the easy part, really. But it's, you know, it's everything. It's, you know, when you eat, what you eat, what you eat it with, how it's, you know, so there's all of that, making sure you get the right exercise at the right time. There's so many complexities involved, and there's incredibly, there is still a lot that is not known. So that was also the other incredible thing for me, is finding that out. And I've always kind of wanted to own my own health journey anyway, but this has really just made me follow that, and also encourage other women to do the same. And that's really what Pure Health Hub is all about. So yes, I will be part of that survey.
Oh, brilliant. That's so exciting.
January. So we'll start it in January. We'll be putting out our expressions of interest soon. Now, you have such confidence in your product. You say those who follow your instructions to the letter may experience stabilization of their blood glucose levels, reduced inflammation, and improved gut health and digestion, which we know is the Holy Grail. So is this correct? Is this what you're standing by, this product?
Look, it's absolutely stand by. I stand by it because it worked for me.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit sort of reluctant to buy into marketing spins at the best of times. Just cut through the BS is how I like to roll. And I would never have thought that something as simple as this would have actually helped me go from having severe diabetic issues and having to reversing my type 2 diabetes. Now, will it work for everyone? I don't know. I mean, we've got thousands of people who actually have provided us evidence around it, helping them to reverse the type 2 diabetes. But I reckon, yes. I mean, you know, depending on, you know, who's going to be in the cohort. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah.
And the proof is in the pudding. So it worked for me, and it's worked for other people. And, you know, I think that if it's a tool that can be pulled out to use, then why not?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and we are, as I was saying before, about how we're all just so complex and so different. You know, something that works for me, I'm part of a whole bunch of groups about diabetes and listening to them, and something that one person is doing absolutely has the opposite effect for somebody else. So there is no one size fits all. But as you say, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? And
but the good thing about it is this. I mean, so we didn't start this off by saying we want to get rich quick and we want to make money from patients of type 2 diabetes. It was purely to help people because it solved a problem for me, and I wanted to share it with everybody and anybody that wanted it. So there was no let's make lots of money from this. In fact, it's probably cost me more. I could have retired with the amount of money that I've had to invest in research and development and trials to get the validations that you need in terms of proving a product. So it's about providing people access, as you said, for personalized medicine. And the beautiful thing is that you don't need to be buying a bottle of Hemp Oz kombucha every day. What you can do is get a kit together and make your own.
Yeah.
And we make these kits. And it works out to be like 4 cents for every bottle.
Yeah.
Now that, as a Scottish person, appeals to me.
Yes.
And that's why I did it, because I wouldn't want to go and pay, you know, $6, $10 every day for a beverage. I would rather pay 4 cents and get the result.
Yeah, I totally hear you. But I do love the bottles. They are very convenient. I'm probably the lazy one and will go straight for the bottle. But either way, they are
Well,
both
there's
divine.
actually, but I like making it myself. I still make it myself. And the reason, yes, because it's cheap and I like cheap, but also I can make my own flavors. So I love ginger and lemon, and I like strong ginger and lemon.
Yes.
Well, you can't buy that in a bottle. I mean, it just doesn't taste the same. So I like the idea that I can make my own flavors.
Yeah.
And I've got a month's supply of it then.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a month's whole supply. Really, it is. It's so cheap for something that's so well, it's therapeutic in one way or another. It's great for gut, it's great for inflammation, digestion, and let's hope it stabilizes some blood glucose levels. John, it's been a treat to talk to you. I'm super looking forward. We're all looking forward to the survey that will start, and we'll get expressions of interest out in the next couple of weeks. And we're looking forward to seeing you on the other side next year, but we'll have another chat to you before then. So thanks for joining us, John.
Look, you're absolutely welcome. And I do look forward to catching up with you face to face. And what I will say is that what you can do is offer your readers the opportunity to win a Hemp Oz kombucha kit. So that then that can create some excitement around them being able to make themselves, and it fits nicely into personalized medicine.
Oh, absolutely it does. And getting involved and owning your own health journey. Absolutely, John. Thank you so much. It's been such a treat to chat with you.
Welcome. Absolute pleasure. Thanks again.